Spring TV brings to you Off the Bench with Talu.
Where to begin tonight? Let's start with Aston Villa getting Steven Gerrard. What's going to happen to Fashion Sakala? Who knows? That's the conversation we're going to have tonight. Speaking of Fashion Sakala, our foreign-based players are in the country. Are you ready to attend the Qatar 2022 qualifiers match this Saturday? If you're not, I have to say, join kickboxing. Did you know that we have kickboxing in Zambia? Are you ready to do a few kicks here and there? If you are, stay tuned to Off the Bench tonight because I'm going to show you how. Good evening. My name is Talu Mukupa and this is Off the Bench. My name is Talu Mukupa and welcome once again to Off the Bench. And I did mention that we're going to get into kickboxing. Have you actually thought about that particular sport? I have to say, a lot of sports faculties that are usually not too popular in the world, in the country, are raising their hands and no longer sitting back. They're stepping forward and saying, we want to be recognized. So have a look at this clip and it's going to tell you what's happening with regards to kickboxing in this country.
Some sports disciplines are not very popular in the country, one of which is kickboxing. But today we are privileged to meet Mukango Kickboxing Club, where young Zambians of different ages gather here every day to be trained on how to become kickboxers.
This sport brings money to the economy. So if Zambia is going to adopt MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai, it's going to bring back to our economy. It's going to contribute to our economy, right? That it teaches discipline, you have to learn self-defense, and you have to be fit as well. Very good that we start it to the grassroots in schools so that it's not something which looked at dangerous, and forward that the government should recognize this sport and give it a try to open it into schools so that children may become, it's not about fighting, but it is about building the discipline into the student, into the pupils at school level.
Do you think this sport is important?
For one, my favorite reason, it teaches discipline and as well as self-defense. We develop self-confidence in the kids. I believe personally would drop bullying rates as well as teaching people just how to defend themselves generally.
Many of the other children, when they have nothing to do, they indulge in drug abuse, they indulge in other different stuffs which are unruly. But with this sport, it will help them to build a mindset of a certain career. It will give them a career. And
Ladies and gentlemen, kickboxing. Hiya! This is dangerous. So some parents are not too excited about this being introduced in schools. They think it's still too dangerous. I might not agree, but that's for you to comment on. Would you allow your kids to take up kickboxing at school? That's a question for you. You're going to give us a call later on in the show. But for now, let's talk about this Saturday. Are you excited about the game? Are you excited to see your Zambian players? Are you feeling that emotion rolling up in your system? Have a look at this. Let's hear what you had to say.
Okay, so my expectations of the game is, well, I don't expect much from Zambia, looking at the poor performance that they've been exhibiting in these other games. So it's an inconsequential game anyway. Even if we win, we're not qualifying to the World Cup. So I don't think I'll even be watching it because, you know, it's inconsequential, I should say.
Mungaya benga kambe kupali bora abazali recent game ndachikutamba so na team big time so mungaya inona munganja support na chita because team yatu but otherwise so atia musha kozoro aba maintain chetekera baso ndiaka kuina ngwashita musha but team part unaona po but otherwise it's a game. Maybe it's not a difference. But otherwise, it's a motion.
Zambia data win. Zambia data win. the rest I expect you for him there. Come on, I'm not sure for zero. I did. Abatesha bakagayida bakwathi umthimo wakubombela pamwaresi awayipanga beja kwachakho zamanje yakubombela pamwarisha ati abajazi but yeah this could and ifingizana na ishibi babathi isadi that.
Wow, expectation for football. I don't know about others, but personally, what I feel about football now is the morale has actually gone down because of the number of losses that Zambia has recorded, and also considering the fact that everyone was looking forward that Zambia is going to feature in World Cup, and now that the hopes are not actually even there. So the morale is down. If you are going there to watch, it's just for the purpose of entertainment and not for the purpose of that desire to see yourself to the next level. But it's just there to just support for the sake of maybe players and other people. But otherwise, if it is the real football that we know it, that you have to go to the next level, it's not there. And for men, I think that is a serious drawback. For women, yes, women have no problem. They can support anything. But for men, they want to win. They want to overcome. They want to conquer. So when that conquering spirit is lost, then everything is lost. So if people are going to watch, it's just for entertainment and not for what football is all about. Yeah, so the expectation is actually low. And the anticipation is whether I win or lose, it will just raise our emotional levels.
An interesting conversation, but let's jump into something that's hit social media recently. The conversation around Oscar Pistorius. If you do remember, this was an athlete, or is an athlete, who just broke so many barriers when it comes to the Olympics. The story is a sad one, no happy ending here. And in case you don't know anything about him, let's have a listen to this clip and then I'll tell you more after.
The story of South African sprint runner Oscar Pistorius, who made history in 2012 as the first amputee to compete in track events at the Olympics, is not one with a happy ending, as he was later found guilty of murdering his girlfriend on Valentine's Day in 2013. Nicknamed the Blade Runner, Pistorius endured the amputation of both legs as an infant, but still became highly active in sports. He took up running at the age of 16, and within a few months, he had captured gold at the 2004 Athens Paralympics. Pistorius began competing against able-bodied athletes and in 2012 made history as the first amputee to compete in track events at the Olympics. The following year, Pistorius was arrested for killing his girlfriend, Riva Steenkamp, at his home and was sentenced to 13 years, 5 months. He at present has served half his sentence and is thereby eligible for parole. But first, he has to take part in what is called restorative justice. That means he has to prove to not only the parole board, but the late Steenkamp's parents that he is truly sorry. In a statement, South Africa's Department of Correctional Services said it was talking to the Steenkamp family about a possible meeting. But remember, being eligible for parole is not the same as being entitled to it, and so it is not a foregone conclusion that he will be released, and this was said by a lawyer. The authorities will also have to consider a number of reports written by prison officials as well as other professionals. There had also been some confusion over when the parole process could begin, as it was widely believed that it would not be until March 2023. But the Steenkamps were very shocked and quite taken aback that he was already eligible. If granted parole, Pistorius would serve the remainder of his sentence at home and need to regularly report to prison officials.
That is just a sad story. Now, here's the question. If you were the Steenkamps, would you forgive this man who brutally murdered your daughter? And he has this story claiming that he thought it was a burglar in a second, third-story home where it was impossible for anybody to even scale without people around noticing. It's such a sad story, and he's only served 6 years of his 13-year sentence. The big question is he even worthy of this parole? So I'm going to ask you, our viewers, to comment. Please comment in our comment section. Tell us what you think. Would you forgive this man, or would you let him go back to jail? On that note, I'm going to take us to a break. When we get back, we're going to get into Off the Bench Spotlight.
Spring TV brings to you Off the Bench with Talu.
Welcome back. You're watching Off the Bench with Talu. And of course, we've been talking about so many things already. Kickboxing, we've talked about Oscar Pistorius, and we've talked about your expectations with regards to Saturday's game. Now, I'm about to take you through something we like to call Off the Bench Spotlight. This is where we highlight, an athlete, a club, a team, a manager, a sportsman or woman, and just give them that recognition they sorely deserve. Have a look at this one.
This week on Off the Bench Spotlight, we head over to Luyando Foundation Sports Academy, where you will be pleased to meet Luyando Foundation Football Club. As the name suggests, this football club was formed out of love from the community.
Because of our passion, our love for the community, for everyone, Luyando means love in a Tonga language. So we thought offering that love to whoever is in need of our support, in need of our knowledge, our experience, that sympathy, we went for the word Luyando, which means love. We have a passion for everyone, passion for the community, passion for any community member, whoever is in need. Yeah, a motto, it's a favorite team, a team with favorite. That's our motto. Yeah. And before even identifying the motto, the community, the people that have been following us, also gathered in board to say, this is the motto for the Luyando. We have to go for it.
But what's a team without its mother?
Tinayamba Luyando Foundation kuona situation y'abana bamukomboni mwamene bavutikira na basika na banyama atakumwa moba kubema hivi ni kumba so tinankala pamozi na banyama ata na bazimai kuti tipange grupu ya Luyando so that titandizane kuti tizasiriza branch inkani y'abafana na kubanyamula na kuyamba kubatandiza mankalidwe ya bwino mu society.
Need I say, this is no ordinary team of young boys and girls. Their achievements, accomplishments, accolades all speak for themselves. Talent is one thing for these kids, but passion is everything. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Luyando Foundation Football Club.
We are Luyando Sports Academy, and we are watching on the bench with Talu. Wakanda Kiro.
Okay, so that was Off the Bench Spotlight, and these kids are they're phenomenal. I think they're just amazing, and we'll get to talk to them a lot more. But we're about to get into the bread of the conversation with our very own, the one, the only, Kasanda Mwape.
Fans in stadium.
Talu, off the bench. Talu, Luyando. I love that clip. I love that clip.
The kids are amazing, yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so the conversation today is all about Qatar qualifier match on Saturday. I think that's the bread, the meat on everybody's tongue with regards to sports in this country, especially with regards to the fact that the foreign-based players are in the country. I know that's the bread. I know you want to jump into it.
You know me. I'm ready. We can go now.
But Steven Gerrard.
Big news, very big news out of Rangers. By the way, even before we start talking about this, I have not yet heard any news out of Rangers. So as at current, we don't know who's going to take over for Steven Gerrard, but it's huge news for his career. It's huge news for the Premier League. And it looks like there's this assimilation of all the giants coming back in. I was even hearing rumors that Norwich want to sign Frank Lampard. So huge news. Gerrard going to Aston Villa. I'm excited.
Do you think this is going to be like a stepping stone for him to ease his way into Liverpool?
No doubt it's on his mind. I can almost 100% guarantee you the questions have been asked. He's probably trying to play shy and coy. I was looking at his post-match interview when he finally announced that he was taking the job officially. He was trying to play it down and he said, no, I have a lot of respect. I wouldn't have taken the job, but out of respect for the entity that Aston Villa is. And the reports say that they had put in a long-term offer for him. So that's definitely something that he was very interested in. He was too good to pass up, really.
I think that's the situation. But a lot of Zambians are not even concerned about whether it was a good deal for him or not.
Just say me.
I speak for the masses. We are worried about Fashion Sakala.
Yes.
He's just found his ground with this amazing coach, amazing manager who seems to have his game plan centered around him. Is it possible? Is it possible that once a new manager takes over Rangers Football Club, the tactics, the game plan, the strategy will change and it may not be in Fashion Sakala's favor?
That's definitely a fear. Like you can't put it past the mind to consider those options, because to be fair, even in the transfer building up to it, one of the biggest reasons why Fashion Sakala signed for Rangers in the first place was because he was promised by Steven Gerrard an opportunity to grow. He was given an opportunity to sort of establish his wings, and it was made very clear from the beginning this was a player specifically selected by Steven Gerrard with a specific plan for what he wanted to do with Rangers. Now, Steven Gerrard had won the league with Rangers, and there was a lot of faith and trust in the project that he was building. So there is a lot of credit and merit to the fact that it could be rough for Fashion Sakala, but I will also argue in the opposite, because it's also true that Fashion Sakala is really talented.
He's a good player.
You don't just score a hat-trick if you don't have the skills. I mean,
no, definitely
he's got the skills. He's a versatile player. We've seen him show his range in the Zambia national team. We've seen him show how good he is as a player. We've seen him show his pace, his tenacity. And I've got full confidence that he might step up to the challenge. He might morph. He might not have the same position as Gerrard had in mind, but I've got an absolute feeling that he's going to have a position. I mean, if you let me be biased for 2 seconds, I saw that Rangers game. Hey, Joe, that boy.
But listen.
The pace on that boy.
Listen, Kasanda, another angle to think about is it enough for a player to just be a good player, or is influence from the coach also a big deal with regards to any team, whether locally or outside? Because we know some players who were benched, and we know this is a good player. Why is he benched?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Once upon a time, Messi just went to PSG, and all of a sudden, the whole mighty GOAT, greatest of all time to some people, was on the bench.
Yes, true story. And it happens, and unfortunately, that there is merit to that point, Talu. We see this all too often in Europe. I mean, I'm not going to mention a certain team, but there's a team that a guy called Donny van der Beek plays for. Big signing. They made so much noise about signing him. He's barely seen any game time. So it is true what you're saying. I mean, the coach does have a big influence on which players start. He does have a huge influence on which players have a chance or minutes to impact a game. But I would like to believe, and this is me as a hopeful human being, I'd like to believe that talent outshines. We saw this with Patson Daka in training.
Can we say you'd like to believe that talent should outshine?
It definitely should. Talent should outshine it, and I'm more than confident he'll have every opportunity in training. So the rest is up to him. We're going to wait and see if he's going to make the cut.
All right, so he's in the country alongside a lot more players. We have Luambo Msonda in the building. We have Patson Daka. We have Kletus Chotachama. We have
Klings Kangwa.
We have Klings
the
Kangwa.
Russian magician.
Yeah, what a really good player. We have Evans as well. Evans Kangwa in the country. Speaking of Enoch Mwepu injury, just when we thought we needed him. Not that we're trying to win this or anything, but
with Chilufi as well.
Yes.
Those are huge injuries to the team, I will not lie. I was looking at the lineup. I'm a fan of Mwepu. I'm a huge Mwepu fan. Shout out to Enoch Mwepu. We love you down here at Spring TV. But it's going to be very interesting. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of energy around this team. There's a lot of anticipation for the games to come. I've been hearing things in the discussions about support, and things seem to be going very well on the surface. And I'm sure we're going to have to dig in a little bit into some of the details.
We are going to
I've got some interesting insights for you, by the way, about the national team as we go along. So we'll see how that pans out.
All right. So if you did see earlier in the show, we played some Vox Pops views coming out of the citizens, the fans of this country, and I don't know. Some people are talking about a low turnout at the stadium this Saturday because some people feel like, why are we even going? This is not going to, even if we win, this is not going to help us in any way. What's the point? What would you say about that?
I would say there's merit to it. I mean, guys, let's face it. There's one huge sport in Zambia. It's football.
Yes,
That's all we do. It's all we focus on. It's all we talk about. So I'm not mad at the fans. Talu, give the fans the right to be angry. Give the fans the right to be emotional. I'm speaking from a passionate fan's perspective. Guys, it hurts in here, in the heart. In here, in the heart.
I understand, but
when we lose. And so fans get really emotional. But I can tell you this. The concept of seeing Fashion Sakala
that was what I thought.
Run down the wing. Patson Daka beat 2 defenders, arrive in the box. Are you telling me you don't want to be in the stadium to see that happen live? Do you want someone to tell you about, what if he scores another 4 goals this time? Are you sure you want to find out about those 4 goals on Facebook? So I appreciate why there's a lot of hesitation, and there is merit because I've met some of these fans. They're very angry. But the truth of the matter is we love football. Football is exciting, and I guarantee you Saturday, you're... Chipolo polo, yeah, Zambia. It's impossible to beat.
Whatever the case, let's take it back to the last time we met up with, or we faced Mauritania. Do you think, we have to be realistic here. I have all the faith. He always says, I'm not watching the game first. I need to have some water nearby. I need to have my BP machine. I'm always there wearing my jersey, ready to have you to be optimistic. And I have faith that we're definitely going to win. But if we take it back to the last game, do you think we can... How did we perform, first of all? Let's start with how did we perform in the last game against Mauritania?
In our last game against Mauritania, I think was probably the most positive I've seen the team. Unfortunately, that was in large parts due to Enoch Mwepu. Something Enoch Mwepu brought to the team is stability, and that's why I was so heartbroken when I found that he's still dealing with injuries.
But then when you say that, you are scaring me and the viewers.
But there's still hope. Yeah, he's injured, but there's still hope. But in our last game, Enoch Mwepu was the difference completely. His confidence calmed all the young players. There's been a lot of talk in the ranks, and it's been shown in our game. Some of the players that are being called up, some of them are nervous. They don't have as many international caps under their belts. Some of them are not fully formed in their footballing career, so they've got jitters, they've got nerves. There's also a lot of pressure. We have not qualified for a World Cup, let alone an Africa Cup, in quite a few seasons.
We are running
away from that topic because we don't even have enough time to discuss that on the show.
Oh, wow.
But all that pressure is hanging on these young boys' back. At the end of the day, it is on their shoulders. Everybody's pointing fingers at them. So there's a lot of nerves. And in our last game with Mauritania, the first one where we finally came from a backwards position and took the points home, it was that calming capacity that Enoch Mwepu had. He sort of balanced the team, gave them the confidence, and they sort of settled into their rhythm, and then they showed what they're capable of. I saw a lot of heart, there was a lot of running, there was a lot of passion, and eventually the team came together and they did what they were going to do. So going into this game, I'm expecting the experience of our internationals, because for that game we didn't have Fashion Sakala. But we know that Fashion Sakala is a very active, aggressive voice. So hopefully the combination of Fashion Sakala and Patson Daka and Klings Kangwa, all this international experience hopefully will bleed into the entire team. Hopefully that confidence will sort of melt into the team and sort of resonate with the young boys and give us that oomph. So there's a lot of anticipation and I'm excited.
But we're talking about all these foreign-based players coming in because they have experience and everybody's so excited about seeing them because you feel like, they'll bring something new.
Right.
Yeah, they came to the other games, brought something new, but still was not enough for the team to qualify. So what's the difference? Are we going to look at a game where they're trying to find their sync or trying to figure out how they play with each other? And the problem I also have, I'm going to follow up with this question, is when they find it, and next time Patson is the one who can't make it, will they stick to the same routine and get those numbers, get those goals?
Yeah.
What do we do? What's missing here? Because before we say that we need another coach.
Yes, true. Before we go there, we need to figure out what's happening. And here's where now this insight comes in. Now, As someone who watches the game from numbers, from statistics, and just from analyzing the overall situations, here's where the magic sauce comes in. Now, you're hearing this only here. What's interesting about this formation is the players that have gone on to perform wonders for Zambia, the players that have gone to represent us on the big stage, a lot of them found their start in that under-17 team that won the Africa Cup and that did amazing things, that really made us proud. You know, the first time we discovered, you know, Mwepu and Patson Daka and thought, oh, these boys are onto something. That's the team. Now, who was their coach? Beston Chambeshi.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So our current coach is the same coach that when he had the free time was able to build a mentality, was able to build a balance to the team, was able to arrange the players in a setting that was really pleasing to the eye. And they started to play some really beautiful football. Now, Beston Chambeshi was brought in. Arguably, his first game in charge was the Mauritania game. So he had a lot of tinkering to go. So our games after that, I mean, to be fair, he did need some time. He did need some space to sort of figure out what he's working with now, rearrange the team.
To be fair, are we ever fair when it comes to our coaches
we
and
never
managers?
are,
And I'm not talking about just Zambia. I'm talking about worldwide, globally. Are we ever fair? I mean...
Yeah, I mean, we're never fair. I mean, we're fans. We want to win all the time. But, like, realistically speaking, I feel Zambia's going to surprise everyone this weekend. I'm expecting a large goal turnout. We're going to have a thriller. We're going to have hat-trick on hat-trick. I mean, my colors, you know me, eh? But on a more serious note, Beston Chambeshi seems to be settling in very well with the team. He seems to be bringing back the chemistry reminiscent of that 2017 squad. So there's a lot of these attacking vibes. There's a lot of this European football. And I can tell the fans, sneak peek from what I'm analyzing, we are in for a treat on Saturday. Yes, it might be formality matches from here on out, but that does one thing. Number one, it takes the pressure off the boys. And I know it's sad because we would have wanted this game to mean something. But the truth is we can still salvage something out of it, and that is galvanizing a team that has been injured for a long time. Zambia is in desperate need of a regathering, and I think Beston Chambeshi is the right man to do it. The mood of the players is perfect, and we're finally setting into a gameplay that is absolutely everything that we need. So watch out for the combination plays, watch out for the confidence. I think we are about to see the revolution of Zambian football.
Well,
watch this space.
It better be the start of something big. It better be the start of something big. So aside from the foreign players, let's talk about the local ones. Who are we expecting to see on the field? What are your expectations?
Well, obviously he's going to field in a player who hasn't been able to feature because of all these COVID regulations. Fashion Sakala will be red hot and raring to go. The man is passionate, and if anybody has seen Fashion Sakala play, the man loves the Zambian stage. He believes in it. He believes in it like bread and butter. So I guarantee he will put his heart on the line. His life is on the line. And that's going to do a very interesting thing for the team dynamic. Because if Fashion Sakala is successful in the position that he will draw so many defenders out to himself, one, maybe two players. And we have intelligent enough players like Klings Kangwa. We have Patson Daka, who definitely be coming down the middle, who will then find himself in a lot of space.
We have the likes of Lubambo Nsonda. Actually, he played very well in the last game.
And Banda, Emmanuel Banda is also coming in. So we've got a lot of these creative forces in the midfield. If we can get the ball to our front men and they can draw the play out, if they can connect the way we've seen them connect before, there'll be devastation on Saturday, I'm telling you. Watch out for Fashion Sakala particularly. The running the man is going to do will be second to none.
Let's switch to the other side, Mauritania, the losing side. Okay, no, let me not say that. But the other team, their performance in the last game and what we expect from them in this game.
Mauritania was tough. No lie. It hurts me as a Zambian fan to admit it.
Let's be honest.
Mauritania was tough.
Yes.
But they're very inexperienced. They've never played at this stage before. We are Africa Cup champions. I think I need to remind the fans, guys, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we are Africa Cup winners. Let that sink. I know it's been bad. We've struggled to qualify, but we are Africa Cup champions. And I think that has to count for something. Mauritania is new to the game. They're new to football. They're new to how they play. And even though they were very tight, I was impressed. They put on a very strong display. They could not keep our boys out. I feel with the confidence that we've got back, it will be an even stronger battle. Worse, the Chipolo Polo band will be in full swing. They'll be the 12th man in the air. It's going to be a fun experience.
Look, I think this is a good reminder. And I have to remind you also, we're opening phone lines soon. So you have to give us your comments and contributions via our Facebook platform, or also you can call us on 0961 415-028. I'll repeat the number. You can call us. Our phone lines are opening soon on 0961 415-028. So I like that you've touched on something very important. The truth of the matter, ladies and gentlemen, is we are Africa Cup of Nations winners. The trophy was here. We've had that, accolade to our name. We can add it to our name somewhere. So it should not be something to always run away from. Yes, the losses have been there, but we shouldn't entirely run away from that. And I like that you touched on that.
Yes.
So, the stadium. The chants, the dances, the songs, and you laugh. Which player do you think will stand out?
From the whole game, I think the fans, I probably will have the song singing. Patson Daka is probably going to be the loudest name that's going to be called out in the stadium. I think the fans have already chosen their favorite. To be fair, he has that Superman kind of vibe to him, guys. I mean, Patson Daka is difficult to ignore. Like, he does all the right things. Bola Nalesa, he is the flagship guy. So I think a lot of the songs will be about him, but also there will be a lot of skills on display. I think we're going to actually see some new heroes. That is why I'll be very surprised if you are an able-bodied Zambian and you are not finding yourself to that stadium. I don't know what you're planning for.
If you're an able-bodied...
I'm telling you, I don't know what you're wasting time doing. I mean, that stadium is going to be entertaining. If not, what else are you doing on Saturday? That's a question we need to be asking. Like, what else are you doing? Like, what other plan do you have? You want to babysit the tomatoes in the garden?
Okay. I think it's loud and clear. So your go-to person this Saturday is Patson Daka. Who's your go-to person? Who do you think will be the name in shining lights this weekend? And are you going? The number to call, ladies and gentlemen, I'll repeat myself because we have officially opened phone lines. Well, after this break, we're officially opening phone lines. And the number to call is 0961 415-028. There are lots of questions. Your expectations for this Saturday. Are you going, and why if you're not? And also, who do you think will be the man of the match? Who's going to bring the glory to the name? I think that's about it. Do you have a question, something you want them to answer as well? Because I'm about to take us to break.
We're just going to go to the break. I think we'll save it for after the break. By the way, just grab the phone line. If you haven't seen the number, it's going to get very, very interesting.
It's going to get very interesting. Also, remember that we have our trivia question. I think it's been on our social media platforms and also in our ads on TV. The social media trivia questions. The trivia master is in the building. He's going to really take care of you. Otherwise, we have to take this break so that we prepare ourselves.
Spring TV brings to you Off the Bench with Talu.
Welcome back. Off the Bench. Phone lines are officially open because it's trivia time. Yeah. Trivia Master, the questions are amazing. They were strategically picked so that we test you and see if you're truly a fan.
Yeah, it's important, ladies and gentlemen.
So you saw for yourselves, I think you've been seeing these trivia questions. I don't think they're so hard. I think they're very easy questions. Not difficult at all. If you are a true fan of the heart, I think you can get this correct. So the number to call is 0961 415-028. I'll say that again, 0961 415-028. That is the number to call so that you get yourself a chance to win a ticket to join me and Cassandra at Hero Stadium this Saturday as we'll be chanting and singing and dancing and shouting for our favorite sports guy.
Yeah, it's important. Ladies and gentlemen, the trivia will be absolutely everything, and it will be difficult. No, I'm joking. The questions are fairly fair, but tricky. So let's see whose wits are about them. Let's see who knows what they're talking about when it comes to business. Prove you know and have what it takes.
Okay, please make sure to call in, and don't hold back, don't hesitate. Call in. The number to call again is 0961415028. Oh, we do have a caller. Hello, good evening. Hello, I need you to turn off your TV.
Okay.
Your name and where you're calling us from?
Yeah, I'm calling from my name is Michael Daka.
You're calling from?
Zanimoni.
Okay, from Zanimoni.
Nice.
Your name again?
Yeah. Michael Daka.
Michael?
Daka.
Michael Daka from Zanimoni. Okay, tell us the answers.
Yes, for question, the answer is B.
Okay, question 1B. Okay, question 2.
The answer is C.
Question 2, C. Okay, question 3.
Yes.
Question 3.
The answer is C.
C.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
and the last question. Question 4.
B.
Pardon?
B.
D or B?
B.
B.
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for calling. We will let you know if you won.
If you've won, yeah, we'll let you know at the end of this section. Once all the calls are in, we will be announcing the answers to all the trivia questions and then declaring the winner of the lovely tickets. If we have a tie, we're going to have a nice little draw to make sure who is the ultimate champion. Yes, sir.
But can you hear us? Okay. All right. So.
Michael, we heard your answers: B, C, C, and B.
And B.
Yeah, B, C, C, and B. So we've taken note of that. We'll definitely let you know how this goes.
Okay, so let's talk about your regalia. As we are waiting for more phone calls to come in.
Right.
Let's talk about your regalia. What are you going to wear at the stadium this Saturday?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this scarf has to show itself off. I mean, I've been a fan of this scarf. This scarf takes me back to when Kalusha Walia was our forward man in the Zambia uniform. It's always been about the scarf.
Right.
I've always envied
I have
people.
to stop you because we have another caller.
Oh, there we go. Let's go.
Okay. Hello. Good morning. Good evening. Good morning.
Hello. Good evening.
Yes, thank you. Please turn off your TV because there's a lot of feedback. We can barely hear you. I hear silence.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect. Your name and where you are calling us from.
You're speaking to Thompson Urenda, and I'm calling you from SOS.
I didn't quite get that.
Thompson Urenda from SA.
Thompson Urenda from SOS.
Oh, SOS.
Please go ahead.
My answers are...
Question 1, yes.
Question 1, Cristiano Ronaldo has got 4 children.
Okay.
Question 2. Question number 2, would you kindly repeat the question for me? Sorry, I've forgotten the question.
Which is the only team in history to score 100 points in a single Premier League season?
Okay. That's Manchester City.
Oh, okay.
The next one?
The highest paid manager in European football.
That must be Diego Simeone.
And the last question is, who was the top scorer for last season's 2020-2021 Zambia Super League?
That's Zambian football, so definitely Jeff Chamanga from Red Arrows.
Thank you so much for your submission. We will let you know at the end of the show how that goes. Very interesting. I'm liking the trivia. I'm liking how it's activating the fans. I will not lie. We have a very learned bunch of people at home.
Yes.
People know their football, but I won't give anything away. I won't tell you who's got what correct and what wrong. It's going to be very interesting.
Keep calling. The number once again is 0961415028. Oh, you were talking about your regalia.
Yes, I was talking about regalia. So from way back when, I've been one of those original fans. You know, in the days when they used to play music on ZNBC for 4 hours straight. Yeah, that's the era I'm from, and everybody used to have
the era when you could actually watch this is
without
very funny. To watch a soccer game on radio.
Yeah, yes,
that's the voice of the one and only Dennis Liwewe.
They pass the ball into the center circle, center circle, center circle, center circle. It's a goal. That's my day. So my regalia, whatever I do, I'm definitely going to be wearing this. I probably might rock a jersey, probably might show up looking nice and smart.
Let's quickly take this last call. Hello. Oh, please turn off your TV. Hello. A caller, we have picked up your call. So just a quick reminder.
Please call back. We could hear you.
Just a quick reminder, as soon as you just turn off your TV, we'll pick up your call. We will. But make sure to quickly turn off your TV so we don't have that feedback, and we want to hear you loud and clearly. So we're going to take one more call.
That's right.
We're going to take one. Oh, wow. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you.
Your name and where you're calling us from?
Stephen from within Lusaka.
All right, Stephen, take it away.
Are you able to run me through the question?
Yes.
Not a problem. Yes. Question 1. Okay. How many children does Ronaldo have?
4.
4, okay.
All right, question 2. Which is the only team in history to score 100 points in a single Premier League season? Should I give you the options?
No.
Yes.
I think you're about to answer.
A, Manchester United.
Okay.
B, Liverpool. C, Manchester City. D, Portsmouth.
Manchester City.
Okay. Question 3. Who is the highest paid manager in European football?
Pep Guardiola.
Okay.
And question 4 is, who was the top scorer for last season's 2020-2021 Zambian Super League?
Moses Phiri.
Okay.
All right. So let's run through your questions again. Question 1, how many children does Ronaldo have?
4.
Question 2, which is the only team in history to score 100 points in a single Premier League season?
Manchester City.
Who is the highest paid manager in European football?
Pep Guardiola.
And lastly, who was the top scorer for the Zambian Super League 2020-2021?
Moses Phiri.
All right, thank you, Stephen. We've locked in your answers. We are very grateful for your call. We'll let you know who the winner is at the end.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was our last caller, and I think it's time for us to get into the answers, but... So, ladies and gentlemen, how many children does Ronaldo have? Trivia Master, what is the answer?
Man. Well, the interesting thing is Ronaldo is pregnant with twins on the way, but the correct answer is 4.
4 is
Ladies and
the
gentlemen,
answer.
4 is the correct answer for this particular question.
Okay, so we get into the next question. Are you ready? Which is the only team in history to score 100 points in a single Premier League season?
This is a very interesting one because the list is really populated, but the highest scoring team in the history is Manchester City with 100 points. The second highest scoring result was also Manchester City with 98 points. So they are holding both number 1 and number 2 spots when it comes to that.
Who is the highest paid manager in European football? This one was tricky. Even I almost got it wrong.
This is the most controversial discussion out there, but by far and large, it is the big man, Diego Simeone. It is not Pep Guardiola.
I know how much he gets.
He makes how much?
35.7 million.
He is a powerhouse when it comes to earnings. He recently took a 70% percentage cut, and he's still among the top earning.
Let's get into the next question. Who was the top scorer for last season?
It had to be Moses Phiri. Samu was in second place, but Moses Phiri took the title with 17 goals scored. Samu came in second with 13 goals scored.
Okay, so you know what? A couple of people got them right, some got some wrong.
Some got right, some got... Unfortunately, we did not have one person get every single question right. But I don't know what we're going to do about this ticket.
I don't know what we're going to do about this ticket. What do we do?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll have to skip it. Trivia Master, what do you think?
You know, I'm not happy. I'm not satisfied. I really want to give this to someone, but someone has to give me the right answers. So maybe we'll see what we'll do. I'll tell you what. People should answer in the comments. Maybe we are feeling generous. And maybe before the game comes, we can pick someone who is a lucky commenter, and maybe we can give someone a deal. I don't know what you think.
You're such a good trivia master.
I try.
All right, that was a good time that we had there with the off the bench trivia. Our trivia master saying if you leave a comment in the comment section, you might find yourself with us in the stadium this Saturday. So leave that comment and see if you just make us feel some kind of way. Make us feel some kind of way. Then we'll give you that comment. But let's get into the tables. The groups, we're talking about Qatar qualifiers here, nothing else. So we're focused on Africa. Yeah. The groups and what they look like. So let's get into that and just have a look and see who's at the top of which group and who's making it where, you know, just to have an idea of who we can expect to represent the continent at the World Cup. I think that's a big deal. Yes. That's the biggest deal. Did you, we had interesting games today.
Yes, we had very, very interesting games today. But
South Africa,
yeah.
Ghana.
You know, Ghana's been the point of speculation, and people are very disappointed at the output. Because just 2-3 years ago, we had so many African stars playing at the highest level in Europe. They seem to have just disappeared. I mean, the other day we saw Victor Moses, Nigerian forward. He's playing for some team that was playing against Manchester United, so I won't even mention them. But, I mean, there's been a lulling. It's almost like the stage is prepped for a new crop of African superstars. So it would be interesting to look at the tables and see who basically standing in pole position to sort of take us through that next phase. We need to know who we are defending and who we are supporting and who is going to carry our hopes going forward.
All right, so even before we jump into the tables, you know what? Let's just have a feel of who do we usually see? Who do we usually see representing the continent?
Yes.
Like, you're talking about how we're disappointed with regards to Ghana. There's some certain teams that I don't even question. I'm like, okay, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Tunisia, Ghana, who else can I think of? Egypt. There's certain teams that you automatically know should be going somewhere to represent the team. So let's have a look at the group stages, the group tables, and see where anybody and everybody is standing at. So we have this better view and better understanding. So Group A, Algeria right at the top.
Right.
What do you think?
Algeria has always been a force, but Algeria always has a problem when it comes to delivering. I don't know what happens when they go to the World Cup. It becomes extremely shaky. Like, Algeria can be in strong positions. They can have all the things that they need. I mean, they've got the players, they've got this guy, Riyad Mahrez, this guy, that guy, and then all of a sudden, when it comes to delivery, there's a big question mark when it comes to how we're going to perform.
Group A doesn't look very, automatically, if I look at that Group A, I know automatically, like, Algeria is going to take this. Because Burkina Faso, good. Niger, Djibouti, yeah. Moving on to Group B. That's our group.
Yeah, Group B, Tunisia is going to sadly take it. There's nothing we can do about it. Tunisia is looking extremely strong. But like I said, North African teams somehow struggle when it comes to going far when it comes to the World Cup. I don't know what it is. They always seem to hit a hiccup. They always seem to hit a technical difficulty, which is very strange. Because on the continent, when we're looking at the Africa Cup and the square-ups, North African teams are really, really strong. They always find themselves in semi-finals. They always find themselves competing. But it seems to be either the West Africans or the East Africans that sort of really go the distance. Actually, particularly more so the West Africans.
All right,
so we get a lot of West African competition.
All right, let's look at Group C and D. A, B, C, D. Group C and D. Oh, okay, I'm looking at Group. Okay, let's go. So, Nigeria right at the top as expected, Cape Verde, Central African Republic, and Liberia. That group, I mean, like I said, we expected Nigeria to take it.
Yes, and rightly so. They are my pick for the people that we expect to be carrying the continent forward, considering we ourselves were not able to send the best players in the world there, or at least in Africa.
Our best players couldn't manage to go there. Okay. Group D, Ivory Coast, like, yeah, did I see this group?
This is a powerful
Ivory Coast,
group.
Cameroon,
this is a deadly group.
Malawi, Mozambique. This is a deadly group, like you said. So Ivory Coast being at the top, there's no guarantee because Cameroon is just under.
Just barely. Won three games. Only difference is a draw. My feeling is Ivory Coast has the discipline. They have the structure from a football perspective. Cameroon, ever since Samuel Eto'o left, hasn't had the infrastructure and the feelings of a good team. Also, their internationals have sort of dissipated a bit on the on the world scene. So my expectation is that Ivory Coast is going to come out strong. We're going to see a much better display from them, and they're going to go through. But my money's on Kelechi Iheanacho. Nigeria look like they've got the set of young men to sort of do damage in the World Cup.
Okay, let's look at Group I and Group E and F. Oh my word, I jumped that one. Mali, Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda.
Yeah, Mali is always consistent when it comes to qualifying. Very strong team, very strong possession football, but I don't know. They'd have to prove us wrong.
Yes.
I'm not sure if they would be the ones who make it through, but they've been playing some good football recently, as can be seen in the results.
And Group F, Egypt, Libya. Well, Egypt. Let's end there. Let's move on to Group I.
Yeah, that's the second. Before we move on, I just want to comment because that's Mo Salah. Mo Salah looks like he's going to take this team all the way to the final. I mean, he's going to put his life on the line. He's currently in Ballon d'Or form. So I'm expecting, Talo, that there's going to be some very strong deliveries from the Egyptian. He is on pace.
But Egypt is not Mo Salah.
Unfortunately.
It's just not one player.
But we've seen from guys like Didier Drogba, we've seen from guys like, you know, Cameroon's Samuel Eto'o, that one player can make a difference. Unfortunately, Luis Suarez did us an injustice when he ended the hopes of Ivory Coast. We'll never forget that. But
you know what?
This might be Egypt's turn to make a run for it, so we're definitely looking. If you ask me, those are my picks: Nigeria, Egypt.
Okay, let's look at the last groups. Group I, Group H.
Yes.
So Group J, sorry, Morocco.
Morocco's playing good football, but like I said, I don't know what it is about North Africa. North Africa have this tendency to beat everyone in the qualifiers and then not go anywhere. I mean, sometimes they struggle to get out of their group stages in the World Cup. It's a strange phenomenon.
Okay, Tanzania, Benin. Okay, I'll skip that one. Let's jump into predictions because we're running out of time. Games, Friday games, tomorrow games.
Yes.
It's going to be tricky.
Yes, please. So tomorrow's games, I don't know where to begin. I don't know where to begin. It's an absolutely interesting one. Tomorrow's games are going to be absolutely thrilling. I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start, Talo. Where should we begin, Talo? Where should we begin?
Maybe because everybody is more inclined to Saturday.
Yes, and Saturday, to be fair, is where my mind is right now. I won't lie. I've had my eye on this Zambia game for a minute. I want to put my prediction in before we even jump into the rest of the games.
Let's do the prediction because we're about to wrap up the show.
I think the Zambia game is going to be interesting. We're going to surprise Mauritius. Mauritania is going to be 4 goals to Zambia. We'll give them 1. We'll let them score 1 goal. 4-1.
4-1.
Clean, beaten.
Fashion Sakala 3 goals. Patson Daka 1 goal.
Patson Daka 2. Patson can't score less than.
Queens can go
1. Fashion 1. A dangerous combination. 4-1, clean, easy peasy.
So actually, there was a comment online on social media. Our last prediction in our last game, you were actually spot on.
Yes, thank you very much.
Maybe we need to put our money.
This is the money, okay? This is the money, ladies and gentlemen. Money is here, okay? 4 goals to Zambia, 1 goal to Mauritania. It's done. It's done. You don't need to go for it. It's done. It's
Kasanda,
done.
Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for your presence here, Trivia Master. It's been amazing.
Thank you very much, and I hope everybody at home is having a good evening.
Oh, thank you so much to everybody for joining us on Off the Bench. We are wrapping up now. It's been such a beautiful evening. Enjoy yourselves and see you at the stadium. Good evening.